This is so important at this point in time because we're coming to a Japan that is our most important ally, but we sit with Japan in a very tough neighborhood. I mean, you have Russia, you have China, you have North Korea. I mean, this is a pretty tough neighborhood to deal with, and so we'll be working very hard on that. But you also have to look at the safety of Americans, American interests, American companies. We have to take into account the safety of Japanese citizens, how we're working together with our military and how we're pushing back and making sure that our military has all the issues taken care of and all the materials that they need to be able to successfully push back against a country like China. Part of the reason that I have this job is the president called me up and we had tremendous success in Europe pushing back against the Chinese and their predatory habits of what was going on there.
On April 18, newly appointed 32nd U.S. Ambassador to Japan, George Glass arrived in Tokyo with a clear message: need to align our defense forces in the face of an increasingly assertive China. Glass emphasized his commitment to the alliance, calling Japan America's most important ally in the world's most important region at the most important time. With tensions rising in East Asia, Glass pointed to threats from China, Russia, and North Korea, stating that the U.S. and Japan must stand firm together. He also noted that President Trump selected him for this role due to his track record confronting China's predatory habits during his time as U.S. envoy to Portugal.
This is so important at this point in time because we're coming to a Japan that is our most important ally. And as I got sworn in by Vice President Vance last week, he looked at the two of us and he said, you have quite a responsibility coming because you're going to go and serve to our most important ally in the most important region in the world at the most important time. And that struck very deeply because I believe that. We understand the ties that exist between the United States and Japan by both being on the same ocean. We realize how it benefits not just the communities and not just the economies, but it's also with the exchange of students and culture, and it's just amazing how it strengthens just the overall community when we have this tie with Japan. And so it's, in turn, this is currently a partnership between the United States and Japan that is a powerful force for peace, a powerful force for prosperity, and a powerful force for progress in the region. And I think what this is going to show the rest of the world is it's a shining example of a true partnership and a true ally and a true friend of the United States of America. And I think this is something that other nations, especially in this region, are going to emulate.
I have frequently heard that the U.S.-Japan relations are, existing for not only the benefits of U.S.-Japan, but also for creating regional stability. And because we are unfortunately seeing that China's economic corrosion and aggressive military activities in this region. So what would you like to do first as the United States ambassador to Japan, and also how would you like to act as a bridge between the government of Japan and President Trump? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a wonderful question. I think I'll work from the back forwards. What would I like to do first is probably go home and take a nap. It's been probably 20 hours that we've been traveling. But as we look at, when I look at being an ambassador, we did that in Portugal for 3.5 years. There's three main components that go with it. It's not just security, but that's certainly very important, but it's also the economics and the relationship that goes on between the two countries. And it's also the friendship component, is creating the trust so that you can work together to get the other two two items further and be able to work on issues together. But I'll start with the security piece because that's the crux of the question. Part of the reason that I have this job is the president called me up, and we had tremendous success in Europe pushing back against the Chinese and their predatory habits of what was going on there. And in fact, with stopping the takeover of EDP, which is the largest energy company in Portugal, that was viewed by the Politburo as the greatest defeat on the Belt and Road. And so that's a big part of the reason I'm here. But when you talk about overall security, it's not just that and pushing back against governments in one form or another, but we sit with Japan in a very tough neighborhood. I mean, you have Russia, you have China, you have North Korea. I mean, this is a pretty tough neighborhood to deal with, and so we'll be working very hard on that. But you also have to look at the safety of Americans, American interests, American companies. We have to take into account the safety of Japanese citizens, how we're working together with our military and how we're pushing back, making sure that our military has all the issues taken care of and all the materials that they need to be able to successfully push back against a country like China. And we're certainly right in the middle of that going on between the Japanese government and the U.S. government, but also the economic side of what that means in the predatory lending and other issues and with trade circumventing that the Chinese partake in. And the third piece is really the friendship piece, and we're working with the government, building up trust so that we can work on the other two issues.
You mentioned you're arriving at a very important time, and actually you're arriving just at a time that the United States and Japan are working to sort out some differences over issues including the tariffs and security and some other key issues. And I'm wondering if you could tell us what kind of role you plan to play in helping to resolve the issues and restore confidence and stability between this important alliance also in the region, including China. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very tough question. So this is the question of the day with what's going on with tariffs and so forth. And so I'm going to back up and give just a little piece of history on this. President Trump was committed to taking a new path with American economics. And as I look back, I've been in the financial services business in every part of it. I've been an owner, I've been a fixed income trader, I've been an equity trader, you name it, I've done it in the world of finance. And I look back 35 years, and I always thought that if the United States got over $10 trillion in national debt, it would be the end of our economy. And here we're at the point where we're pushing $40 trillion coming up. And we currently have a situation where it's taking $1 trillion a year just to finance our debt. And that's it's unsustainable. It's the end of our economy if we keep going down this road.